Good morning. Fly on the Wall Productions, live with you on Main Street in Barrie. Live on Facebook and YouTube and streamed everywhere you get your podcasts. On the web at airedoutVT.com. Good morning. Oh, we have a lot to get to this morning. U.S. Bowling League Day today. I think most of us would agree that summer is officially over now. I think Brookfield was saying the first day of frost was today, this morning. So a little bit of frost in the pumpkin in Brookfield, but summer officially behind us. Hope you had a fantastic Labor Day weekend. I got away. I am back. Weather from NBC5, absolutely beautiful with sunshine and 70 today. Cool tonight with lows in the upper 40s and clear skies. And then tomorrow, another perfect day, highs in the upper 70s and sunshine, just perfect project weather. Thursday and Friday, the stretch continues with sunshine and 70s. Larry Seiler from Ableton On Air is going to be stopping by in a bit to tell you about his podcast later today at 3 o'clock. Jamie Brown is my guest tomorrow, sharing his story of overcoming some unreal odds. I can't wait to share that story with you. Friday, Lindsay Contois and Amanda Shangra going to talk up what's happening in Williamstown this weekend. Bon Lafayette on Monday. Man, I cannot wait for it. And a chance for you to win Beetlejuice tickets from FGB Theaters. It opens Friday, and we want to get you to the Capitol Showplace in Montpelier for the premiere. Speaking of the Capitol Showplace, Blink Twice and Twisters tonight at 6:45. Deadpool and Wolverine, and it ends with us, along with Reagan, all at 6:30 tonight. Some great movies. Paramount Twin Cinema has 6:30 showtimes tonight for Deadpool and Wolverine and Alien Romulus. We have a new presenting sponsor. I am so excited to introduce you to Fontaine Meadows. If you have not driven through the gates of Fontaine, you have absolutely no idea what you're missing. Fontaine Meadows in East Montpelier. Been going there for a while now, and now so happy to announce that they are a new presenting sponsor. Their general store is amazing. Everything that you could possibly need and more right there. Indulge in delicious delights from La Cantine food truck. Relax in the beer garden. The Cowboy Burger is absolutely amazing. You're going to be seeing pictures of that probably starting today up on our page. And before you leave, make sure you order up a maple creamy that you will never forget. Visit Fontaine Meadows, Route 2 in East Montpelier. Right there at the junction of 2 and 14. I'm going to be over there streaming live soon as well. I cannot wait. Daily Dose of Feel Good this morning. I love this story. I shared it this morning. 2 years ago, a Colorado Springs family lost their dog named Bear when a pet sitter was watching him. And after weeks of searching and posting about him, he never turned up. Soon after he went missing, this military family was moved to New York without their beloved dog, Bear. Well, back in Colorado, and I just love this, some volunteers had been continuing their search for Bear and trying to catch him, and they finally just got him not long ago. Bear made his cross-country trip to his new home in New York 2 days ago, all paid by community members. His family in New York is so happy, greeting him with open arms. The full story, again, on Aired Out this morning. I love it. Vermont headlines straight from NBC5, WCAX, and VT Digger this morning. And if I say Monday, just pardon me. I know it's Tuesday, but it feels like a Monday. Vermont is experiencing a rise in pertussis, commonly known as whooping cough, with 28 cases reported between June and late August across 6 counties here in Vermont. Most patients are 12 years old or younger, and half of the cases were identified in an unvaccinated community in Windham County. Vermont Department of Health saying it is investigating more reports of possible cases, and they're urging residents to ensure that vaccinations are up to date to prevent further spread of the disease. Meanwhile, we have doctors warning of a rise in a couple of different contagious viruses as children return to school. The latest COVID variant caused a late summer spike. Doctors aren't sure exactly why, but it's not just COVID. Doctors say that other viral diseases like RSV and the flu could soon be picking up pace here. No surprise, FDA recently approved an updated version of the COVID vaccine for the latest variants, which will be available soon, along with the flu vaccine. The RSV vaccine is currently available for older and at-risk adults only, as well as pregnant people. Also, this month, and worthy of noting here, the Biden administration plans to restart its free COVID test by mail program. Orders can be made at covidtests.gov. 5:43 a.m. on Sunday morning, magnitude 3.8 earthquake in southern Quebec. The epicenter, 5 kilometers southeast of Pierreville, a depth of about 0.7 miles. Right near the epicenter, some strong shaking, some light damage, but the earthquake felt in parts of northern New York and northern Vermont, including Plattsburgh and Burlington areas, north central Vermont, and even parts of the Northeast Kingdom. I was up in those parts, never felt a thing. 5:43 a.m., I think a train could come through my room and I wouldn't hear it. But I'm glad everyone's all right. 3.8, not huge, but certainly enough to cause damage and something that we're not totally used to up here in the North Country for sure. Vermont Agency of Education releasing a report from its Listen and Learn tour highlighting educational needs and priorities across the state. The tour was designed to foster a data-driven dialogue about the future of public education and align the agency's strategic plan to the state's educational priorities. There's a lot of talk about this in the news this morning. The first report provided an overview of data, including student enrollment and academic performance, to staffing levels and expenditures. Agency is going to continue to collaborate with education leaders and the Commission on the Future of Public Education to prioritize future reporting. But man, that's one that we're going to be paying attention to and watching this week. Again, a lot of chatter about it. We have a man that was stuck in the mud on the Winooski River, rescued by boat Sunday morning. He is fine. He is recovering at UVM. His name has not been released, but on the scene, the Burlington Fire Department requesting the help of Colchester Fire Department and Colchester Technical Rescue. The guy was about 500 yards downstream from the Blue Ridge by the railroad. The original plan was to rescue the man from the Colchester side of the river, but that was deemed unsafe. So the Colchester Technical Rescue deployed their boat to safely remove this guy from the water. He was treated for minor injuries. Again, he is doing just fine. Not sure what he was doing. Maybe he was fishing. I don't know. This year's Oktoberfest in Vermont reported canceled now. I guess it was scheduled for Friday, September 20th and Saturday, September 21st. Canceled as health department officials recommend that people in parts of the state avoid being outdoors after dusk because of the risk of Eastern equine encephalitis, also known as Triple E. So last week, the Intervale Center announced that their dates were also canceled for Somervale because of the same reason, the risk of Triple E. Vermont Agency of Agriculture, Food and Markets as well as the Department of Health, issued a joint statement saying that Alburgh, Burlington, Colchester, and Swanton were also at the highest risks for mosquitoes that carry this Triple E. One person in Vermont has tested positive for Triple E this summer. They were treated and released, and I think most of us know by now another man from New Hampshire has passed away from Triple E. Massachusetts and New York also experiencing an uptick in Triple E cases this summer. National headlines: we get a suspect in custody following a series of shootings along a portion of Interstate I-5 in the Seattle and Tacoma areas of Washington State. Multiple people injured. The suspect has been taken into custody, we're told. But that's probably one of the biggest stories that's trending this morning in national headlines. Also, more than 10,000 hotel workers now on strike across 25 cities in the United States. Whew. The union is called Unite Here, and they represent hotel employees. Launched a nationwide strike against 3 major hotel chains over the Labor Day weekend. They want higher pay, better conditions, and more staff. Hotel chains facing the striking workers: Hilton, Hyatt, and Marriott. Those are the big ones. The impacted hotels reportedly still open, but guests may be dealing with a skeleton staff due to not being able to provide full services. World news: we have hundreds of thousands of protesters taking to Israel streets on Monday over the government's failure to secure a ceasefire for hostages, a deal that they've been trying to make now for a long time with Hamas. Not working. So sad. We have a bus that crashed into a crowd of students and parents outside of a school in eastern China. Very sad story this morning. 11 people were killed, including 13 that were injured, according to police. The bus driver has been placed in police custody. The cause of the accident is being investigated. That's one of the big stories in the world right now. The bus lost control coming through an intersection, from what I've read. But again, whew, what a story. The stuff that you wake up and read, unbelievable. Sports: Red Sox lost to the Mets 4-1 last night. First pitch again tonight at 7:10. Japan won gold by defeating Team USA 48-41 in the wheelchair rugby final at the 2024 Paralympics on Monday. Watched a little bit of that week of the Paralympics this weekend. Absolutely amazing. NFL is embracing soft-shell helmet covers to protect players from concussions. I'm sure Lori Shepard and the Four Quarters podcast are going to be talking about that tomorrow night. The world's number one golfer, Scottie Scheffler, gets the PGA Tour FedEx Cup and a $25 million bonus. Unreal. San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Ricky Pearsall. What a story. Shot in the chest during an attempted robbery over the weekend on Saturday afternoon. He has been released from the hospital. He is doing fine. His spirits are well. He was robbed and shot by someone trying to steal his Rolex. Whew. Yeah. Beetlejuice going to be opening Friday at the Capitol Showplace in Montpelier and Paramount Twin in Barrie. And starting tomorrow, your chance to win tickets, free tickets right here, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We're going to be giving you that chance to score some tickets. Almost forgot, 83 hot dogs. That's what Joey Chestnut put down for the Netflix Labor Day eating competition. 83 hot dogs. broke the world record. Wow. Zucchini bread. I'm going to post up a zucchini bread recipe a little bit later on today, maybe even tonight. One that I'm looking at, and maybe you've got yours that you can share. At some point over the next couple of days, I am going to be very much making zucchini bread. I have picked a ridiculous amount of zucchini, more than I ever have before in my entire life. I don't know what the hell's going on in my garden, but I've got zucchini that I go, 2 or 3 days of forgetting about, and these whoppers are like 3 feet long. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm going to be making zucchini bread and relish in the very near future. I would love to see your recipes. I'm going to share with you, again, mine, and I will maybe even take you live to the kitchen during the monotonous zucchini grinding and shredding that's going to be going on at my place. Larry Seiler, who's with me this morning. Larry has jumped on and aggressively said, I want to be doing this. I want a podcast. I want to bring my message of advocating for folks with disabilities to the airwaves. He has started years ago, a very successful show over on Orca Media, called Abled and On Air Live. And he is now, of course, continuing to do that, but now jumping on podcast microphones where he's going to be a little bit more outspoken, more transparent, and diving in a little deeper with some more details of the passion behind his message of doing the right thing for folks with disabilities, and also highlighting their remarkable achievements, not just here in Vermont, but frankly all over the world. And I have been beyond impressed with his level of assertiveness with me, of frankly not letting me say no. Not that I would, but this guy has been blowing me up for weeks now, saying, I want a podcast, I want to do this. He officially launched his Abled and On Air Live podcast a short time, last week, a week ago, Tuesday. What was it, 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
And Larry's with me this morning in the studio, and I got to tell you, man, I'm so impressed with the level that you have taken your message already. I mean, last week you had two guys, amazing guys on the air talking about the Paralympics.
But they didn't bring me coffee.
Well,
they were in a restaurant.
Well, it's hard to bring you coffee when they're on a phone. So where were they, anyways? In New York?
Well, the sports reporter that I had on, Ron Rondon, has been a sports reporter for many years. He was with CBS Sports. He was with USA Networks.
Yeah.
And now he does a television program in Brooklyn at a access center called Brick Arts Media.
Yeah.
Which is a wonderful performing arts and television station in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But he was in a Starbucks, and he didn't even bring me coffee. No, it's fine. It's fine. We talked about the Paralympics, and a wonderful sponsor of Abled and On Air has been with me for quite a while now. The Muslim Media Corporation runs the Parkchester Times and many other Bronx and worldly newspapers that they that they started up, and I've been a reporter for Parkchester Times for which is a part of the Bronx, but I don't have to live in the Bronx to be a reporter.
Right.
I grew up in the Bronx.
Yep.
I love New York Yankees. I miss the food, but I don't miss. We talked about on the show last week. We talked about the prices on how much these stadiums are charging. I mean, come on. You're going to charge $10 for a hot dog?
Sure.
And then watered down beer?
Yeah.
Despite that?
Yeah.
Come on.
Mm-hmm. You guys unpacked a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Last Tuesday.
Yeah. Your podcasting forum has been great. Your mentorship is wonderful. And I'm going to continue bringing the topics that are extremely important to the ability community, because it's not just local.
Yeah.
It's
that's
global.
That's what I was saying. It is global. It's a global movement to advocate for folks with disabilities. Larry, you're doing a hell of a job. You are so well known for this message that you bring, and And on Orca, you've had a little bit of some time constraints to do your show. On a podcast, you don't have that. So
I have an hour time slot.
You know what I'm saying.
But yes.
You can go as far as you want to go.
Well, it's still free speech.
Yes.
Television.
Yeah.
So we can stretch the limit, but podcasting and radio, you kind of can stretch the limit a little bit more.
That's right.
I mean,
Yeah.
But Orca Media is not FCC regulated.
That's right.
The only thing I don't do is I don't curse, and I don't.
Sure.
I don't do the show naked.
Sure.
So,
then we're good. Then we're good.
Then we're fine. Exactly.
So who do you have coming up today at 3 o'clock?
Today, I have the wonderful Heather Slayton from Washington County Mental Health, who will be here, and we will. She will be live with me at 3 p.m. talking about the Imagination Station, talking about the WellSpace, we're going to talk about suicide prevention and a whole host of many other services that Washington County provides. They have been my Abled and On Air sponsor for quite a while now. And
long time.
Since 2019.
Yeah.
And by the way, Beth Seitler, who has now taken over the helm of Washington County Mental Health, is so wonderful. She was with Champlain Community Services before.
Sure.
But, Washington County Mental Health continues to amaze Central Vermont with wonderful, wonderful services. And if you need help, call and ask. Look on their website at wcmhs.org, and they will help you with anything you need.
Yeah. It's the number 6. It's 60 years and around 6,000 Vermonters every year that Washington County Mental Health affects lives. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people.
But on the back of one of their cards, their calling cards, if you will, there's a global number that you can call, pound 988, if you need any help with suicide prevention or just want to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
You can call that number. And also, years ago, there used to be a number called 1-800-LIFE-NET. Call these numbers. There's people at the other end of the phone. Washington County Mental Health also has a crisis line.
They do.
And,
there
is no shame no shame whatsoever to ask for help.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right now, Washington County Mental Health is offering up 3 to 5 sessions at no cost for their short-term crisis counseling. It's 229-0591.
Yep.
229-0591. If it's flood-related stress, they're going to help you out. There's no record kept. You're not in any file as a patient of Washington County Mental Health. It's just something that they're doing that's great for their community. So, and if you decide that you need more services, you can get them. You can just stay in touch with them. But come and talk with them. They're available anytime.
And I'm pretty sure if push comes to shove, if someone had no insurance, I'm pretty sure Washington County Mental Health can help you.
Sure.
And they help with flood relief. They help with anything.
Yeah.
They'll probably, even if you need help from food pantries, they'll direct you in the right direction for that as well.
Larry, I can't wait to hear your show this afternoon at 3:00. You're doing,
and no restaurant interviews.
That's right. Listen, man, you're doing remarkable things, and you always impress me, and I'm happy to have you here. Very happy.
Very happy to be part of the Fly on the Wall production family.
Yeah.
And Orcomedia's we're gonna stretch. I'm still gonna be at Orcomedia.
Yeah, right.
But we're gonna stretch the limit as far as it will go.
Sure.
Keep when you stretch the limit, because I used to be a news reporter. No shame. I love being a news reporter. I will always be a journalist. I got trained by news reporters. But you can't cut. One of the biggest things is that you can't cut a social worker. You can't cut a teacher. You can't cut even a senator. For example, next week, September 10th, she's a physics teacher at Montpelier High School. She's also senator for Washington County. Ann Watson will be here on Abled and on Air Live to talk about how the education system has changed.
Sure.
That's one of the biggest things.
Yeah, a lot. Well, that's huge in the
news.
It's in the
because
news
the American,
this week.
and it's no shame to say this. I'm a very wonderful product of. I was in special education, in New York City. Now they changed it to the New York City Education Department. It used to be the Board of Education, but when I was in special ed, I had gotten mainstreamed in regular courses, regular classes, and wonderful teachers. But I ended up getting regular diploma and then going off to college. But special ed classes are needed, and special ed is being cut. Services are being cut for people with disabilities, people with special needs in education. Why do teachers? One of the things I'm going to talk about with Ann Watson next week, Senator Ann Watson, is, why are teachers across the country having to buy their own supplies for their classroom?
Yeah. You mentioned this recently on the air, right here, which it's a great question. And there's a ton of stuff.
And students shouldn't be using, in New York City, students are using textbooks from 1956.
Yeah.
We've gone past that. Hello.
Yeah. I can't wait to catch your show today. Thank you for coming in this morning. Larry, giving us a brief teaser. Listen, before we head out here this morning, I want to say this. I think most know by now that Raylene is no longer part of Aired Out. I want to make it very, very clear that I wish nothing but the best for her and will support her in any way that I can. And she'll be missed. And I think most of us, many of us, know about this right now. But there's some things that that needing to go forward. We will be making some changes here, and what those changes are going to look like. I'm going to be moving a few things around here. So they may look differently, but I'm also going to be making some programming changes. I'm going to try to tighten things up a little bit in the morning and get you the information as fast as we can so that you can get on your way. But we're also going to continue to have some banter and some fun. I've got a couple of new features that I'm going to be bringing onto the airways and introducing to you in the near future. And we're going to be welcoming in guests. Most of the time will be probably right around the 9:30 mark. But it's important for you to begin your day with information that you need to know, especially the weather and some of the top trending headlines in Vermont. So we're going to do that on the first half of the show. The second half of the show, we'll be bringing on some guests and some interviews, and we're going to move forward. We're going to have some fun. We're going to keep it light, and most importantly, we're going to give you as much information as we can for you to start your day. But we got some plans here and some changes that we're excited about, and we'll be introducing them to you all in due time. And we appreciate your patience. Thanks for liking and following the page. Don't forget to comment, to share any episode that you enjoy. The Aired Out podcast is always live, always local, never edited, and seen and heard on Facebook and YouTube from Fly on the Wall Productions. Streamed everywhere. You get your podcasts on the web at airedoutvt.com. Thanks, and have a fantastic rest of your day, everybody. God bless.